These two objects seem to hate each other. No matter what I do, I can't seem to bring them together. Oh, hello there, and welcome to Learning Primary Science with BlueTree. My name is Teacher Farron, and today we are going to be talking about magnets. So, before we begin, we first have to ask ourselves, what are magnets? Well, magnets are defined as an object that can create a magnetic field around itself. It has the capability of attracting unlike poles and repelling like poles. Just like these two magnets, I cannot seem to bring them together. They seem to repel each other, which means that these two sides are like poles. Now, how is magnets important to us? Well, magnets are all around us. In fact, they are used so commonly that sometimes we forget and take them for granted. So some objects that use magnets are fridge magnets, right? We put magnets on our fridge. Magnets are also used in electric motors. Magnets are also used in our headphones and our speakers. So magnets are being used in many places, as well as creating hard drives. Hard drives are what's used to store information from our computers. And without hard drives, there would be no internet. Can you imagine what it would be like without internet? Sounds terrible, doesn't it? Well, let's delve deeper and look at some of the questions that you might encounter in your exams. Here we go. Let's have a look at our first question. MCQ. Nathan set up an experiment to find out which objects, A, B, and or C, are magnets. This is the aim. He labeled the two ends of each object, X and Y. He brought the ends of each object near the north pole of a freely suspended magnet and recorded his findings in a table. So you can see what the experiment looks like, right? And then you can see the interaction in the table below. So before we delve deeper into this question, let us look at the key concepts that are being tested in this question. Okay, so these are the key concepts. Magnets attract magnetic material like iron and steel. Like poles of magnet facing each other will repel, right? Magnets are the only ones that can repel each other. And thirdly, unlike poles of magnets, facing each other will attract. Okay, so let's have a look at the interaction. So for object A, right, both ends, X and Y, attract. Okay, which tells us that object A is a magnetic material. Okay, and since both sides, none of them repel, it is not a magnet. Now let's look at object B. So for object B, the side X repels the north pole of the freely suspended magnet, which tells us two things, right? Object B is a magnet because only magnets can repel each other. And the end X is the north pole, right? Because north pole of a freely suspended magnet is facing the X end, right? And only like poles can repel each other. Okay, let's look at C. So object C has X, which is attracted, and Y, which repels the north pole, which tells us the same thing about object C as it did about B. Okay, so object C is a magnet because it can repel, right? And the NY is the north pole because like poles repel. And so let us look at the question. Nathan can conclude that objects what are magnets, right? So based on the table and the interaction between the objects and the magnet, we can conclude that B and C are magnets. Did you get this answer?